Hello and welcome back to episode 8 of the Middle Ground podcast. That's crazy to say. We're nearly at the Big 10, nearly in double digits, which is nuts to me because I've done this every week, so it means that we're nearly on week 10. That's nearly 3 months. That's fucking nuts. Time goes crazy fast and we can't control it. Whoa, bit of an existential entrance to this pod. But we've got an important topic to talk about. It was something I posted about. I can't remember whether it was a carousel or a story. I think it was a carousel. And it was about the fact that there's more to life than fitness. And it sparked a little bit of debate. I had a few messages about it. I had a few comments about it. And I essentially touched on the fact that fitness, a lot of people make fitness their entire life or their entire personality. And my point of view is that yes, it should be a part of your life, but that's what it should be. It should be a part. It shouldn't be the whole thing. It should be a pillar. It shouldn't be the whole fucking house. How I like to say it most of the time. Because the way I see it, fitness adds to your life. It allows you to do more things. It should never really be taking away. Unless you push the envelope a little bit, you've got a competition, you've got a really specific goal that you're training for, whatever it might be, that's when the balance starts to change a little bit. But if you're training for general health, for general fitness, for a slightly better physique with no particular crazy end goals, then it shouldn't really take away from your life too much. So I've got a list of notes here that I'll kind of go through one by one. And the first one is that fitness isn't a personality. And this triggers a few people. And the people it triggers are the people that have fitness as their personality. Now, I don't mean, this is coming from a coach. This is coming from someone that makes money from fitness, from helping people improve their life, their habits, the way they think about themselves, all of this. And I don't even make fitness my personality. And when people talk to me outside of a coaching context, I find it a bit fucking dull to talk about, if I'm honest. If I go to a family gathering and people start telling me how their training is, or not necessarily that, but start asking me questions, or start assuming that I'll think about things in a certain way because of the job that I do. Most of the time, I don't want to talk about training. I talk about training for a job. I love it, but it's not something I want to talk about most of the time. I've got so much more to me than training and nutrition and whatever it might be, that I want to engage in conversations outside of that. And I think if you've probably been to the pub before and you've met a bloke and he's, you say that you're into the gym and he all of a sudden starts asking, what's your bench or what's your squat or whatever it might be. And to me, those conversations are so fucking dull. And it just shows you that that's their personality. Someone has made the gym their entire personality, and fuck me, does it get mind-numbing. You should always have more to you. There should always be interests outside of training. There should always be endeavors outside of training. I think you should have hobbies. Fitness, the gym is kind of a hobby. The fitness can be a hobby, but it's a pillar. It's an essential in my eyes, and you should have hobbies outside of that. Obviously, I'm all for people training. This is not to discourage people from training, not in the slightest. I think more people should train. If more people trained, we'd be in a better place. Everyone would be better. They'd be fitter, they'd be healthier, they'd be emotionally more regulated. Whatever. They would be in a much better place than where they currently are. So none of this is to discourage people from training. It's to help people engage in training without it becoming their entire life, and letting people know that it's okay to not really care about it that much. To turn up, to push hard, to do it, to have it as an essential part of your life, like brushing your teeth, but to not care about it to a point that it ruins your life or it takes it over. No one gets in the pub and starts talking about how they brush their teeth, their toothbrush, their technique, the type of toothpaste they use, right? To me, fitness is brushing your teeth. It's a basic hygiene thing. It's for basic life hygiene. Training, again, to reiterate this point, I'm not trying to discourage people from training. It makes your life better. It increases your health span. It increases your lifespan. Now, I really want to double down on the point of health span. That it increases the quality of your life for as long as it can. You can do more things to a later age than you would be able to do otherwise. A lot of people think about extending the length of their life, but they don't necessarily think about extending the quality of that length. Like, I'd rather exist for 10 less years, but all of them be completely able, than exist for 10 more years, and those last 10 years I can't move, I'm immobile. That's an exaggeration. Obviously, training increases your health span and your lifespan, but obviously don't neglect the quality of life thing, which is a really important part of training. And I see too many people fall into this trap, which is they have a goal, so they start training for that goal. They get obsessed with being that guy that's going to achieve that goal. So whether it's running a marathon, whether it's, squatting 150 kilos, whether it's competing in this event, or just being the guy that is the fitness guy. And then they obsess over everything to a point where it's not serving them. And their identity that they have tried so hard to build is actually going against them now. Because we want to build identities that serve us. And we want to have a routine and habits and a structure of fitness that serves us and doesn't take away from us. And you can get overly obsessed about being that guy. I've definitely been there. You think that whatever, you come to the beach, for example, and you're known as the fitness guy, especially as a coach, and you think, oh, fuck, everyone's going to expect me to be shredded or whatever it is. And that can bring on a lot of stress and a lot of unnecessary stress that you don't need to bring on, and then you're just putting onto yourself. You would enjoy life much more if you don't put too many labels on yourself, especially when it comes to training. When you start putting labels on yourself, you start to have to act in those ways, and it can be non-beneficial, if we put it like that. Non-beneficial to the end goal, to the cause of just living a better life. Again, a better life doesn't necessarily mean that everything's optimal, because to me, a better life is having a pint here and there. It's putting a snus in. It's drinking a Monster. But it's also having a solid training routine, a fucking top-notch sleep schedule, being able to manage stress, working really fucking hard at the things that I want to achieve. That's what having a good life is, and a better life. And training allows me to do that. But also, if I take it too far to that end, then I don't get to do the other things that I enjoy that are a little bit degenerate. I think you just have to earn your degeneracy. That's the way I look at it. You end up not enjoying the body that you've created, which defeats the point of why you started. Because you thought, well, I'm going to create this body and I'm going to live a better life and I'm going to feel better about myself and I'm going to have all this awesome stuff that I get when this is my goal. And then you end up not enjoying it because you're so worried about having everything perfect. It's a rough cycle to be in. You will miss out on the opportunities that you once wanted, and they'll pass you by. Like going out and doing activities with friends, right? Sometimes you might have to miss a session if you want to go and, go wakeboarding or go and play some pool. Or, you're more able now, so you can go for a run with friends, but you had a weight session planned and what a shame. Or even maybe it's just going out to the, play some golf, maybe. Fuck knows. Whatever it is, something that might cause you to miss a session because you're going to go out with the boys, going out on a boat. I don't know. But you worked so hard to create a body that allows you to do those things, and you're not going to go and do them because you're so worried about losing the body. It's so ironic. It's so ironic. And I think you need to put more focus on being able to go out and do the things and not put too much pressure on keeping your routine absolutely perfect and having your body absolutely dialed in. This isn't to say that you just completely let yourself go and focus purely on hedonism, but if you've done 3 sessions out of the week and, you can create space for these things you enjoy, going to a festival, whatever it is. If you don't enjoy the body that you wanted to allow you to do those things, then you're doing yourself a disservice by just working on the body over and over and over and over and not actually using it to do anything else. Like for me, I work really hard so I can play basketball and I can go and do activities with my friends and do all of these things. If I just kept training and didn't actually use it to go and do anything, like my ride across Spain, right? I worked so hard to have this ability, and I'm so grateful to have this ability in my body, that I'd be doing myself a disservice if I didn't go and test its limits or push it and do these new things or do the sports that I enjoy and whatever it is. I said it at the start and I'll say it again here. I don't think training should be your entire life. It should be a very important part of your life, but it should not be your entire life and your personality. It is a pillar. It's a solid base to build from. But what is a pillar if you don't put anything on top of it? What is the use in a fucking pillar if you're not going to put a roof on it or build another floor? Or right, you use a pillar to support the things that go above it, and your fitness should be that. Again, that should be your base level training and your base level fitness. Of course, sign up for an event, sign up for a marathon, sign up for a high rock, sign up for an ATHEX, whatever it is. You sign up for something, use that as a base to build on, but work hard on this base level of fitness that you can then do extra things from, and don't just stop at having a base level or just get so worried about keeping it that you forget to go and do other things. Again, it should be something that you put things on top of, that you use as a springboard to allow you to do other things and experience life to a fuller degree. It is a pillar. It's not the whole fucking house. Don't fear going off plan just because you're afraid of losing progress, right? Sometimes life requires you to go off plan. I wouldn't have the friendships that I have with people if I hadn't missed sessions to go and do stupid shit. I wouldn't have, the life that I have if I hadn't have experienced things that might be a little bit less optimal, but pushed me out my comfort zone and allowed me to grow. Yeah, maybe I had to miss a session or have a beer or have whatever it is. But improving your life and deepening relationships doesn't always mean training more. Sometimes you have to sacrifice training a little bit to go and enjoy these things, but it's so worth it because life is so much more than training. This is the point that I'm reiterating. Life is so much more than training. And again, I don't want to take this away from the fact that enjoying fitness is so fucking cool. If you enjoy fitness, this isn't me saying you shouldn't enjoy fitness, but you should do other things. Enjoying fitness is sick. I love it. I wouldn't have made a job out of it if I didn't love it. I wouldn't do it weekly if I didn't love it. It wouldn't be such a big part of my life if I didn't love it. But I also love other things that allow me to be me and meet new people and experience new things. And I'm grateful that I'm able to do those things because of the body that I've built. I love what it lets me do and adds to my life rather than just what it is. I think is more important than anything. It adds things to my life. It allows me to do more things. And that is why I love it so much. Because it brings me these new experiences and these new things. I would say, try not to get too caught up in the things, in training, in nutrition, in making everything optimal and perfect that you forget to live along the way. Because it would be really easy to get to the end and go, fuck, I was so focused on keeping everything tight and dialed that I actually forgot to use it and experience life with it. And that's the reason you do it at the end of the day, is to experience life more, to have a fuller life, to be able to do more things. You should probably also have more to your personality than the gym. Sorry, not sorry, but you should have more to your personality than the gym. For example, I play basketball. I like games. I love card games. I like walking. I like traveling. I like camping. I like planes. I really fucking like planes. World War II aviation and World War II history. Am I ashamed of that? No. I really like music. I really like my dogs. I really like interior design. Not from a perspective of me being good at it, but I like good interior design. I like skateboarding. I like surfing. I like reading. I like writing. I like the sea. I like the beach. And there's a lot more, but that's just an example. You should have so much more to your personality than fitness, because it's fucking dull if you do. This is it. Just a quick one. Just a little pop in. Just a little hello for episode 8. But a very important topic nonetheless. Again, not saying you shouldn't enjoy fitness. You should enjoy fitness, and that's amazing. It makes it much more sustainable over time. But you should use the fitness that you build and work so hard for to allow you to experience and do other things. It's not rocket science. Just go and live life. Try not to be too stressed out about being absolutely optimal, and go and fucking enjoy the body that you've worked so hard to be in, to be able to go and do the things that you want to do. This has been episode 8 of The Middle Ground. It's been a quick one. I hope that's okay. I am Jude Venn. Jude Venn Coaching on Instagram and everywhere else. If you're listening on Spotify, like, share, subscribe. If you're listening on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, comment on both. Any questions, any recommendations for episodes, please let me know. Just comment down below. Share it with a friend. I hope you all have a fucking wonderful week. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Middle Ground Podcast.